Welcome back to Golden Ridge. Today we're expanding the industrial zone, building a new office park, increasing downtown density, and wrapping up with lots of detailing. So, let's get to work. Okay, so the first things that I want to do today are kind of really cleaning up this little industrial park that is very sad. I just threw it down real quick so that we would have something with basic services when we got our city up, although one of those basic services that I forgot was garbage. So I want to get that going. And then I want to fill out a little bit of office park space down here, as well as fill in a lot more stuff kind of in this inner ring. And yeah, so we'll get some of that stuff going. Let's start right here with industry. I zoned some of these industry buildings, but I don't think we're going to keep them because they just get so randomly kind of thrown down with the zoning that they just don't feel quite right. So let's go. Actually, let's start first with trash because I think that will help. So we don't need to really use the incineration plant because I know we have plenty of electricity from our dam. Yeah, we have 327 megawatts, and we're only using 11. So we don't need that. I think we can go with. Probably go with just this recycling center for now, and then do a landfill out with somewhere with a little more space. So I think for now, let's try that. We'll go ahead and flatten a little more of this area because this is eventually going to be some residence and some more office stuff and some more kind of industrial stuff. So I think for the most part, we'll keep some of this topography up here, but I think we can go ahead and flatten a bit of this out, at least for now. Kind of try to keep it looking organic-ish, although this game does make that a little hard. Once you kind of get rid of some of that height map stuff that the map came with, that looks fine, but obviously it's not as detailed as some of this other stuff. So don't love this road. So now let's take a look at our recycling center. Okay, I think we can probably tuck this guy right out there, and then we'll bring a road to it. And make sure that's about 90. Okay. And then let's go into, let's see if we want to do any upgrades to this. 15 garbage trucks that we have now. I think we will do this one that will allow us to store more garbage since we don't have a landfill for now. I think letting this kind of take as much as we can, I think will be good. And I'm so glad that they give us this radius now where it doesn't have to be attached, because putting stuff across the street, I think, makes a ton of sense. And I'm guessing, yeah, no, I think that'll work. In looking at a lot of these kind of industrial areas on Google Earth, they have a lot more just open space. They're not so just kind of congested or dense. So I think as we go into find it here, and we'll go to buildings and industrial buildings. We don't want to do manufacture. Well, I guess we do, but let's go a little bit bigger. I'm going to find some of the bigger ones. Do these have building levels? Oh, I guess they do. Okay. Let's see. Go a little bit bigger here. Let's try just doing it on one side. I'm not sure what the limit is, so it looks like the limit is 6. So that's a decent size, though. Yeah, it looks like 6 by 6. So those are going to be the biggest ones. So that's fine. So I'm just going to put, some of these down. These are a lot of storage stuff. I think we want to stick a lot with manufacturing. I think, though, that if you plop them without zoning, I'm not sure if it satisfies the demand. So if anybody can fill me in on that, I would love for the plopping stuff to be satisfying some demand of this. So, and I just don't know if it does that. It feels like it doesn't, but with some of these mods, it can be hard to tell exactly how they're affecting things. So we just want to space this stuff out a bit and give them room to have lots. And there's a lot of parking, a lot of surface parking, and also just a lot of kind of industrial plot land. I see that it's not totally clear what a lot of it's being used for, but they have more space than just, what's in their immediate footprint. So we'll just bring this out a bit and can get kind of another road in here just to add a little bit of variety here. Actually, I think we'll go kind of like that and then come across and go straight again. There we go. Oop, that's not quite straight. Well, I kind of lost my rhythm there a little bit. All right, so let's try this one more time. I just want to get some crossroads that are not, totally straight. So let's bring that over, and now we'll switch to the straight tool, and there we go. And then we can get a little bit of kind of a frontage road starting about here and kind of going up this way that can run into. Okay, that's looking a little better. And then I want to get some alleyways in here just to mix stuff up. These are such a great way to kind of divide blocks in a natural way. And then let's go back to find it and get some more of these buildings in. And let's look for some warehouses. Can just turn that off. These always end up looking really good. And then I want to get zoning on this side building here. So I think if we zoning only on the left side. No, that's not quite working. Maybe it doesn't work with the replace tool. Let's see if we can just drag this out. Oh, and then I guess it's from relative to the way you drag it, which makes sense. There we go. Perfect. All right, and we'll just get a few more industrial buildings and warehouses out here. Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping for. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, and then oh, well, it looks like we're losing a little bit of demand. Let's see if that is improved when we draw some of this in on top of what we have now placed, or if what we placed is enough. All right, that's already looking much better. So we're starting to get some traffic here, and if we look at this as kind of our couple of our main thoroughfares leading around, I think there would be probably some commercial stuff going on here. So let's look at southwest and northwest packs and get rid of the warehouse. So we'll just see what we can find in terms of some shopping, maybe some industrial looking commercial stuff. Actually, let's just go bigger. I want to go more with width than depth. So let's see what we have that's kind of a little bigger. Yeah, like this feels like a place that would have, diners and stuff along the side of the road. If you think about the area of your town that has the Home Depot in it and that kind of stuff, there's also a lot of that. I know there's just certain kind of accompanying businesses that go with it a lot of the time. Shopping, little grocery store I think will work. And I think we'll maybe leave stuff off of there. What else do we have? What is that? I wish some of this stuff had more like specific. That kind of looks like a car dealership. I'm not sure. Does it tell us what that is? It does not. So it's all right. It's got the right look. Just move that over and let's just kind of. We'll come back and detail a lot of this stuff later. But I just want to make sure that things are sitting in a relatively logical place on the plots that they're. Oop, didn't quite get this alleyway attached all the way. There we go. And we are not going to need some of these intersections at all. So no stoplights there. Definitely not here either, I don't think. Stoplights and crosswalks. We won't need that one. I think most of these alleyways I don't really want to be big intersections. That one's probably fine. Does that even get a stoplight? No, that one's too small. Great. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. So we still have very high commercial demand, or industrial demand, but we're certainly off to a good start. I think we can also stick some stuff over here. Let's flatten some. Let's check the land out a little bit. I think it's probably, yeah, we'll just flatten that out a bit. Kind of leave this little peninsula, but I think anytime you leave the road edge as the end of your area, that's when it starts to feel a little not as realistic, because I think usually there's going to be stuff, more on both sides of the roads in a lot of places. So having some stuff, and even having some small roads to get stuff, a little further off, I think also really helps, just with adding some detail and adding some more of that realism. So if we get this in here And then we'll get another road kind of going like, now I can't see where my little hub is. Let's get that a little flatter. Can leave just kind of a, can even bump this up, turn our strength way down, and kind of make this a little more of a peninsula hump there, and then we'll get a road kind of going like that, and then we can connect these guys up. That is not quite the curve I had in mind. So let's see if we can't just move that enough to get a bit of a curve in there like that. Perfect. And then we can stick something back here as well. Maybe this is probably a good place for a warehouse. We can go a little smaller, of course. Yeah, something like that I think will work pretty good. And then let's see what we can get in here. And we've got this whole area back here we might as well use. So let's make sure this is flat. Oh, it's looking pretty flat, but I think we can make sure it's... Oh, that is the wrong brush. Give ourselves a little bit of space here. And I actually think not having it be perfectly smooth ends up looking, in some cases, a little more realistic, as long as you've got some I did it kind of over here after the first episode. Just kind of on this side mostly, but just kind of bringing some variation so that it's not just this perfectly straight flat wall, because that's when the way this game looks like kind of here in some of these places, you know, in here, like that doesn't look especially realistic when it's just kind of straight flat down like that. I think if you kind of bring in some variance to it, it ends up looking a lot more realistic. All right, so this is actually looking pretty flat back here. So we've got this little alley, but then let's get our full-on road. We can get a 2-lane road coming in here like that, and having it come straight out this way, and then this guy can meet up with it here, and we'll get rid of that intersection. And oh, I think we have our left side zoning still turned on. Yep. So we actually want, not that it really matters, but I think we just want right side zoning. Doesn't really matter because we're not actually going to be zoning anything, so. And just kind of get similar like we did on that little peninsula area, just get some of these non-straight road stuff going on, and then back to find it and get some smaller looking stuff back here. Let's see. A warehouse in there. And what else do we have? Some manufacturing. Yeah, that looks pretty industrial. And let's see if we can get something. What do we have that's smaller? Oh, those are the big ones. Yeah, we can even just go with another little road out kind of like that, and get just a little guy out here. Let's see. Probably want to limit the depth. Let's see what we can get in terms of wider stuff. I don't want just a warehouse, although it looks like that's a lot of what comes with 2 deep. All right, so we'll go 3 deep and see if we, there we go, that's a little better. Might even be a little big. I just want to, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so that's already looking much better. Let's see if there's anything else we want to fill in here. I think we'll do a lot of custom parking stuff, but let's see if there's any parking lot stuff that we can fill in just with the assets we have. That's another thing too. I think oh, hello. Boy, that's a interesting parking lot. I think not putting stuff directly on the main road also is a lot of times when things start to feel a little less realistic. So just getting a little side road like that and then taking this parking lot, not that one. Definitely not that one. Where is it? So instead of putting this one here, just putting it off to the side and having that be off the main road. I think that goes a fair amount of way into just adding a little more, whether it's realism or detail or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now we've got some traffic going on here, and oh, that is going to be a color scheme that we are not going to be okay with. My God, even that blue is very blue. There we go. Boy, that was intense. Okay, I think maybe we can get a little more commercial and some more warehouse stuff over here, but I think for the most part, this is feeling pretty good. Do want to stick with a lot of these northwest and northeast and southwest stuff. Let's see if we have anything. Actually, let's take a look at some of the signature buildings. I wonder if there's anything. I mean, a pub, there's got to be. If you think people that work out here aren't drinking. Little highway side pub and grill probably is right on the money. How is that not connecting? Because I put it in backwards. That'll explain it. Okay, I think that's good for now. We'll get some detail in here, but let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so next we do have now a bunch of office demand that we did not have before when we had no citizens. So I think this kind of big green area and the riverside area is feeling great for a bit of an office park. So let's take a look at, I'm not sure what, if any. So we did get North American kind of larger office stuff, but I'm not sure if we got, oh, we did. Okay, great. Oh, this is perfect. So let's see what some of the bigger stuff looks like. Yep, that's what I'm looking for. All right, let's lay down a little bit of some roads, but I do really want to leave, a lot of these industrial parks have big parking lots off of kind of a main thoroughfare. So we'll get like some roads in kind of like this, and then we'll use the alleys as a bit of a kind of hidden road into what will be just kind of like big parking lot areas. So if we put that in, let's just draw this straight up because those look a little off to me. Let's just go 1 through, yep. And then we can get something kind of like that and something a bit like this. And then when we take something, an office building like that with, which will be a very different color because that's not really, you know, you want to create a little bit of kind of a complex, I think is what you see in a lot of these. Oh, and again, I turned off. I keep forgetting that I'm messing with the zoning stuff. So let's go back, and I guess it doesn't matter for the zoning aspect as much as the fact that it looks like stuff won't stick to where there's not zoning. I'm not sure. So, and then get that in. Yep. So there we go. And then let's see if we can't bring this guy kind of back around. And then we'll take this road that we kind of deleted and have that be the other side of our office complex here. I worked in a place like this where it was just kind of one main road, and then you just went into these giant parking lots that just had a bunch of office buildings, and it was not the most inspiring workplace that I've ever been. Location wise, the job was fine. So back to the alleyway, and we'll get this in like that, and then we can get another one. Let's see. Really want to stick, and then we'll get these all, you know, colored very similarly. And maybe we can also split off one like that and get like a slightly smaller one. Yeah, I mean, you can think of this as kind of like a tech complex, you know, where maybe these are some of the same company, maybe some of them are not. Let's get another road kind of coming around. Back that way maybe, and then let's scoot this guy down a bit, give ourselves a little more space. And then I think we can get one more of these offices, or maybe at least one more in here. So I do want to stick with this same theme. I'm just trying to find ones that we haven't used yet, if there are any. Go with that guy. Okay. So then now let's find some, let's get the color going. So I think these are going to be pretty modern, and I mean, let's try with a pretty white looking theme. Yeah, I think we're just going to go, and what color is this? The part of the building is that. So we'll stick with, that can actually just stay. So some of these take the color a little differently, but for the most part, that at least, yeah, that feels, you know, more consistent. And then I think over here we'll start using this other kind of style. There was that other office style. Where does they start? Yeah, this one. We'll get another kind of complex going over here. Let's see if there's any kind of fancy, something just kind of like that apartment building that might be also stuck in here. Yeah, something modern. That's looking, I really just guessed on the first one there. And yeah, that kind of thing. I think we can flatten that out just a little. And we're going to once again also copy our color schemes here. Is that yellow something we can change? Doesn't look like it because that's... Oh, that might be just because it's winter. And let's see if in the spring, if that might just be grass that ends up actually looking pretty nice. All right, let's go through and do more of this alleyway area stuff, kind of getting this filled in. So let's stick one there and kind of draw it over there. And I want to get some more row housing in here, but I wanted to do it in a way that doesn't leave this big empty space in the middle here. So row housing, let's get our, there we go. So I think we'll stick with, for here, a depth of 2, and yeah, we'll just, and actually let's also add, can we just add the North American stuff as well in there? No, I guess that has to be kind of different. So we'll just get a few of these in and we can maybe mix some of that stuff in as well. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to kind of fill this block up a bit with a big space in the middle there that I didn't want to just feel too empty. And yeah, you can put a parking lot back there, fill it with trees and all that kind of stuff, which is great, and I do that all the time. But I just wanted to do something a little different in there. And then what are we doing here? There we go. Get some more commercial in there. And we'll just scoot these guys over a bit just to... All right, there we go. And I think for this block, get some more mixed stuff in. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. Let's keep that. It's too bad there's not windows on this side. If that would be a perfect corner bit. And we'll just go back with some of these row houses. Okay, that's already feeling, it's feeling better. So yeah, areas like this I think are a perfect place to throw down some surfaces. I also wanted to finish up this. I started this little parking area, but I thought this was a good example of also just how to fill some of these spots. So let's go for one of these chain link fences and get this in there. Turn off snapping. Kind of run that there, and then bring this guy out kind of along this. All right, yeah, so that's already feeling much better. I think that's a nice little highway side parking lot. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go back over a lot of the places that we set stuff up, mostly our office parks and our industrial park, and get some detailing done, as well as go back in and fill in a bunch of stuff in our main downtown area that we built last time. And I'm gonna leave it there. So thanks so much for watching. Appreciate everything on all the views and all the comments on the first video of this series. Thanks for joining me in City Skylines, and thanks for subscribing, and thanks for commenting and liking, and we will see you next time. All right, bye.